And so the process begins for garden cleanup. Hi, Sherry here, and it's that time of year to begin cleaning up our gardens, getting them ready for the winter season that is right smack in front of us as the freeze is coming in just days now. So let's work together to put our gardens to bed. Now, I wish it was as easy as it sounds to put it to bed. Just get a blanket, put it over it, and call it good. But there's a lot to be done. There's still some more flowers to be, like these marigolds over here, that I still have some that I'll probably make one more little garland out of, and a few things. But I know that Ed's going to be joining me out here, and he's a no-nonsense kind of guy, where I like to kind of clip through it. He's like, let's go for it. So until he gets out here, I can, cut some flowers that are left and do some things. And I also thought that I would take you on a tour of the barn. You've seen the barn in many of the videos along the way, and I wanted to take you in there and give you a little tour of it. Now, our barn, actually, before I head to the barn, here's kind of a cool little thing. We have this old mailbox, as you can see, very old. It was actually the first mailbox when we moved into this house that we store some gardening supplies in there. A nice thing to do with old mailboxes. We've got a compost bin over here that is full to the brim, so I don't know where we're going to put all this because the other one's full with leaves, and compost isn't till Wednesday, so we shall see. But here is our little barn. We actually have two of them. Back up here a little bit. There we go. We have two of them. We have this barn and we have that barn over there. Now, we used to call it Ed's barn and Sherry's barn, but it's really, this barn is more for gardening tools. It's a gravel floor barn, so dirtier things kind of go in this, where that has more storage. We have our tractor in there and some other things, and I'll show you that on another day perhaps. But let's go on in here. Now, this is a totally enclosed barn. Oh, and I'll just give you a pre-warning. I have no idea what's going on in here right now because we've been throwing things in here. But we have shelves here with, typical gardening supplies. And I've got to get this organized. We have some Christmas things here, branches, the dog's pool this summer, which will move probably up to the rafters. There's my kid's old tricycle that we put out from time to time. I keep hoping I'm going to have grandkids one of these days. You know what I'm saying? So I keep holding on to these things. But you can see this barn is just where our ladders are in here. And but what will happen is I want to get this cleaned off here because the pots that come in, I've got a lot of garden knickknacks. We've got different things. These are old kitchen cabinets that we put out here to put pots and things in, which has really been helpful to do that. But I still have pots to bring in and a lot of fairies and things like that. But it's a great storage space for us to have this barn. I can't imagine not having it. And then we have all of our tools, bigger tools back here, rakes, etc. So that's my fancy little barn. I remember when the kids were little, I used to come out here, escape to the barn to hide for a little while just to have a few moments of peace and quiet in the wintertime, because it does stay fairly warm in here during the winter months. So that is an awesome thing to have. All right, so now with that delay, let's get back into the garden. The other thing that I have here too, let me show you this. This is our compost. We buy in bulk at the beginning of the season. This is what's left right now. I hope it will get us through, but I may have to go get some more because every bed will be composted along the way. So let's get back into the garden and get to work. And soon Ed will be joining us, I am sure. All right, here we are. Ed has made his way out into the garden to help me. I was just telling him how
I've made my way.
Made your way, how I like to putter, you like to get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done. So we are over here with tomatoes, which we have gotten quite a few of the green tomatoes, and we already have a bunch in the house too. But I think, Eddie, I think we've gotten them all, so I think we are
Oh,
ready.
with the flowers too, no?
Yeah, I'm gonna clip. So we've got all these zinnias here, and I'm gonna what's left from the frost.
So
Try to
these-
avoid them at this
these
moment
go
in
out
time.
too?
Yeah, all this is good. If you come
All the
across,
plants? Wow.
yeah, everything's going.
Okay.
We're done. It's over. So, and I don't think I said
just-
this in the opening video.
We just planted these.
I know, right? We just started the seeds indoors like 5 minutes ago. Flamingos have to go back in the barn too. We're gonna get to it and get these out, get the compost down, as I said, and take it from there, right?
Sure.
Sure, why not? Okay, let's do it. All right. I was talking last week about how to go around and take a video of things. One of our big reminders this year, we got hundreds of tomatoes off of these vines, but they were going wonky every other way. We have gone past regular tomato cages, right, Eddie? Wonky, where they're just, I mean, like right now, even as I trim them back, they're so long and scraggly and running into others and all of that. So note to self, next year, we're gonna build a beautiful trellis for our tomatoes.
Yeah, emphasize that word we.
We. All right, back to it. One thing I'll share with you as I'm thinking about this as we're going through the tomatoes, there's two kinds of fasteners that we did have. I've used this for the last couple of years. And the nice thing about it, you have two different ways you could use it. But it just clicks on, and then it's great to hold the tomatoes up from early on when they were seedlings in the house till getting out here when they were bigger. And I've used them for a variety of flowers and things throughout the yard. And then there's this one.
I like that one better.
You like this one better?
More, you could makes it more secure. The other one is okay, but I don't. But whatever.
Yeah.
You like.
Yeah, no, but I couldn't find these anymore. Because I got these both off of Amazon. But anyway, these are pretty cool to hold plants up. I really like them. I'll put a link here as I like to put resources on these videos, but a good little resource.
You are just a pleasant.
You know, I will say, and I'm always reminded of this as I'm doing this, this is the hardest part of gardening, is that you work so hard all season to grow and to have everything, and now you just gotta clip it and get rid of it, or compost it. We always say composting is best, but it's difficult to let these little beauties go. But we know in a couple of days that that it's going to be 29 degrees, so it's better to bring them in and enjoy them for a little bit longer than to leave them out here and know that they're going to go poof in just moments. So yeah, onward we go. Okay, so here we are. We have got all the plants out, lots of green tomatoes, few bouquets, coming along, and we're going to go ahead and leave these zinnias in because they just look beautiful. And Ed is standing by to put the compost down. We're just going to lay it on top. And so I thought we could talk for a few minutes about the irrigation and what's going to happen from here, Ed, as we put the garden to bed with the irrigation that's in the garden.
Well, tomorrow they're going to get blown out. I don't have a compressor to do that, so we're going to they're going to water one more time tomorrow morning, and then we'll just open the we'll shut the water off in the house to the sprinklers, and then we'll open the valve and then open the valves here and let the water drain out, and then when they come they'll blow the sprinklers out. And you want to do that so that they don't crack over the winter. In reality, it's probably be okay for another couple of weeks, but if we're going to get at 27 degrees on Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
Thursday, probably.
Thursday,
yeah,
whatever the
right.
day is. So we just make that commitment that it's going to be, we're preparing for winter because it could show up next week. It could be,
The hard
we don't see it
frost.
we don't see it on a weather forecast, but it's been known just to show up to be 10 degrees one night. And wow, where'd that come from? So,
And again, a reminder to everybody, we're here in Zone 6A here just outside of Boulder, Colorado. And so, yeah, we never know.
yeah, fall could be 70 degrees during the day and 10 degrees at night. We've had Septembers where you're outside and you can see it up in the mountains, the storm coming in, going, where's that coming from? And bada bing. And then
To
at
give you
night,
an idea, too, there's the mountains right there from us. They're probably what, a 20-minute drive to the
to where they
mountains.
were up to the Indian Peaks. It's an hour because of the roads.
Well,
But
yeah,
as
up
the
to the
crow,
peaks, yeah.
as if we were a crow, maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, as the crow flies, yeah. So we're going to leave the leaves down. We're actually going to leave the sprinklers themselves down, right? We're
Yeah,
not
we
going to
just leave
hold
them
them
like
up
they are. I might curl them up after we're done blowing. I might curl them up over here, and then
before we put the compost down, or
I don't know. I didn't get that far yet.
all right. Well,
maybe.
we're going to be there in just a second.
Well, I'll have to make that decision in a second from now.
Decisions are imminent, and and just to let you know, so we'll put the compost down on top of the leaves to be sure. Maybe not the sprinklers, but then this tree will also finish falling. The leaves will finish falling and they will go on top of the compost, and we will just leave them. And then in the next couple of days, I will pull out the rest of these zinnias, and then we're on to all the other beds we have to do. A?
A.
A.
B.
Okay, let's get to it.
That's all.
Okay, quick news flash. We are going to put the compost, we pulled the sprinklers or the irrigation up. We're going to put the compost down, and then you're going to lay it on top. Is that correct?
Yeah, just kind of keep them that way over the winter so they don't get all busted and cracked. And I don't know what else to do. I mean, that's what we've been doing for years, and it seems to have worked okay.
Okay. All right.
They've lasted and they work, and you just have a little repair sometimes in the spring, but nothing.
Right. Yeah, they've been pretty good. Abby is helping you.
We need some more.
I think that's
Suffice?
Yeah, I think it's good. All right. Okay. So you don't need a whole lot. And, to keep remembering that we've been composting throughout the summer, but this is just kind of the final blanket. And I might put some more down here in a couple days where the zinnias were. But
and then in the spring, we'll have to till it.
Yeah.
Be
And
nice.
we, just so that we could talk about this too, there's the no-till method that has been talked about a lot to save the bugs and all that. But because we've had such grasshopper issues, when we say till it, we used to rototill. Remember back in the day when we first moved here, we would rototill every spring, and we definitely don't do that. But we also
use a little pitchfork, right? That's all.
Yeah, just a little. And I also like to have the garden, our kitchen is, right up there. We have a big window that looks out over the garden. And I like the garden to look pretty in the wintertime and not just a bunch of dead plants, which would make me very sad. So this is how we do it. And then in the spring, we still have cleanup for sure, but not as much.
This is how we do it.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to move over here to this bed that has our African marigolds in it, and you can see how the frost got to it. Now, some of the flowers are still blooming, but if they're left, they will get hit with the frost here probably by tomorrow morning, I'm going to guess. So I'm going to go through and really clip all these up, go ahead and pull the marigolds out. Yeah, so that is my next thing. All right, so here's the bed without, got one more marigold to come out, but the last thing that's left in here are the artichokes. Now, I will not do artichokes again. Note to self, don't do the artichokes again. They are, I think their leaves are so beautiful. And if we lived in a zone that they could overwinter, that would be fantastic, but they will be gone with the frost. I'm going to leave them until then. I've got a couple perennials in here, these geraniums, as well as these coneflowers, and lots of lavender in this bed, which we were just talking about it, put some pine needles down in here to, you know, I hear so much advice about not letting them get hardwood because that's when you can lose them. So I think I'm going to cut them back. I'll actually use the leaves because they smell so dang good, and I can do some potpourri, but that is what's left on this bed before we move over to the zinnias, which, as you can see, such a sad, sad tale. So I will be taking these all out. We will be taking these all out, me and my friend over here named Ed.
What? 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 Broncos are on this afternoon. I can't
Oh,
be doing
Broncos.
that.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. All right. Luna's there to help. And all
We're doing the
right.
zinnias?
Yeah, the zinnias. I'll have to go.
All
I don't know
right.
if we're going to have room in the compost. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah, there's always room.
Always room. All right. So that's what we're going to do. And I think with that, we will come back when we're done. We'll save you the pain of watching all these come out. But yeah, onward we keep going. All right, my friends, it is done. The zinnias have been pulled, put in the compost. Again, they're annual, so that has to happen. I have harvested the lavender and put pine needles down and some white rocks that my neighbor Vicky gave to me, said they're really good. We'll leave the artichoke for the hard freeze and go into the compost for next week. Daisy babies are still there, but everything else has been cut down in this bed. I will leave the lamb's ear probably another couple of weeks just because it's pretty hardy in the frost and it's a nice coloring. Of course, again, as we did together, the tomatoes are gone. These zinnias will be pulled here in the next couple of days, right before the hard freeze comes on Thursday. And yeah, as I look over the garden, this time of year and during this beautiful season, which is a hard season, look at my ash tree, so gorgeous. I just really reflect in the gratitude that I have for my garden and all that it's given me over the last 6 months. Truly, this is the time as you're, you know, it's sad to say goodbye, but as you're pulling everything up, it just is an important time to remember the beauty of your garden, why we garden, and know that we have 6 months or so to rest and plan next year's garden, right, Luna? Next week, we will get to the dahlias and more. Until then, be sure to subscribe, like, let me know how you do your cleanup, and remember, onward we grow. Thanks for growing with us, and we will see you next time. And in the meantime, be sure to like, comment, let us know what really resonated for you in this video, and then of course be sure to subscribe at no cost to you and be updated when we have new videos up to play.